Good evening, all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Sahu, for giving us a platform, giving us an opportunity to be here. And I promise you first that I'm not going to stand here and keep talking. Would just like to keep it short and simple. The last 2 years have taught us a lot of things. I've been listening for the last 45 minutes. I've been listening to all my seniors talking about few terms. The first thing what I heard from Nirupamda was agility, to be agile, right? That's one of the basic things you have learned in the last 2 years, right? Then I've heard from my seniors, my seniors, that safety, security. So these are the terms that's cropping up in the market. And one interesting thing which is really going around in the market is data, data, and data. It's the new gold, or you call it the new oil in the market, right? So we all, organizations, whether it's large corporates, whether it's SMEs, small business, startups, we all are data hungry, right? We are all after data. Why? There is a question. Why we are after data? Any answer for that? To take better decisions. And for what? Absolutely correct, Nirupamda. To take better decisions for two major aspects. The first is increased revenue for any organization, whether it's from a startup to a big corporate or an SMEs, increased revenue, and at the same time, we need to be cost effective, right? That's how we can balance it. And that's the expectations from IT today. IT is no longer that legacy. I mean, I remember when I started my career, I heard a term, and I would exactly like to tell all of you, is IT, acronym for information technology, once a euphemism for computers, is now a thriving aspect of human society. However, ladies and gentlemen, that's a statement of the past. Today, when we talk about IT, we do not just talk about computers. If you can see on the back, it's written, transforming. Today, we all are after, we are data hungry. Why? Because we are looking after digital transformation, right? So with digital transformation, what happens? With digital transformation, we get on a train to success, but at the same time, with great success comes great challenges, right? It's not just about having the data. It's about how you maintain the data, right? How you put it across your organization, how you get the revenue out of it, how you secure your data. So these are the aspects. So there are certain challenges in the market, right? Of course, we are all data hungry, but with that, there are certain challenges in the market. And what are those challenges? The first thing, as per IDC, there are supposed to be 55 billion, and I repeat myself, there are supposed to be 55 billion devices to be connected in a network and generate that data for you. So can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, 55 million? And out of this data that would be generated, as per Gartner, 75% of this data will be generated not within your premise, not within your data center. It will be generated out of the edge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is an edge? Edge is where we are sitting today, right? Edge can be anywhere. It can be in a movie theater. It can be in a mall. It can be in your home. Because today, a lot of small SMEs or small companies, what they're trying to do is, instead of going big in terms of infrastructure investments, what they're doing is getting an endpoint device, giving it to their employees, and they can work from anywhere they feel like, right? But how do you, because as I mentioned, with great success comes great challenges. So there is a phenomenal data being created at the edge. Now, out of a survey being done, out of the corporates, out of the SMEs, 80% of the people from IT, they are not aware of the devices that are connecting to their own network. And I repeat myself, why? Because apart from the IT, is the other departments who are using those devices. It's not just the IT, it's the other departments who are using those devices to generate that data. And this data can make you, take you to success, or can break you as well. So I repeat myself, 80% of the organizations feel they are not 100% aware of the endpoint devices that are getting connected to their network. The second thing, which is a hidden fact that we call it, out of the time that is allocated for IT, right? 70 to 75% of the time, the IT people, they're investing their time to solve the problem. And the budget that is allocated to them, between 70 to 75% of that budget, they spend to keep the lights on. And I repeat myself, 70 to 75% of that budget, which is allocated to them, they spend that money to keep the lights on and not on innovation. So your success would be when you spend more on innovation and the way you move ahead. But today, corporates at times find it difficult because their budget is implemented in maintaining, in keeping the lights on. I'm not talking about this light when I say lights. It's keeping their infrastructure up and running. So we can see definitely there are challenges. Another challenge is when we do talk about the edge, we talk about the network that connects all the edge, right? Because that's where the data is getting generated. So there are certain challenges. So this is where Aruba comes in the picture. And that is where Hewlett Packard organization as an organization, what have they done is they have come out with a platform which we call it as Edge Service Platform, which is a cloud-native architecture, which is basically what we call it in a simple layman's language, is an architecture with a brain, which can think on your behalf, right? Now, when we talk about the edge, when we talk about the network, the first thing is connectivity. So how do you connect your devices to the network? Today, as I mentioned, as I start off, as my seniors showed me the way, saying that agility, it needs to be agile. The first thing is, when we talk about agile, we need to talk about mobility, right? Mobile. So how do you connect your endpoint devices? You connect to Wi-Fi, wireless. There are different methods of connecting. It could be Wi-Fi, it could be wired, it could be WAN, it could be 5G, it could be IoT. So the first thing is connect, right? Now once you have connected and you start creating the data, how do you protect it? Because that's the key to success. You have to protect what you create for your organization, right? That's imperative. So the data that you create, now you have to protect. You have to get absolute visibility into your network, into your system, that who is connecting, what are the devices that are connecting to your network, right? How they're getting connected, what are the rules that govern the devices that connect to your network. So this is where we call it as protect. This is where Aruba, we call it as zero trust. Zero trust. That is, by default, don't trust any network that connects to your network until and unless you have yourself validated, right? The third thing that we call it as analyze and act. That is where to analyze the devices that have connected, whether they run according to your set of rules, how you protect your sensitive information, how you protect your data, is what Aruba is working on, is what we call it as AI Ops. That is artificial intelligence in managing IT operations. That is the ability to think on your behalf and act. I mean, let's talk in a layman's language. You're in an organization, you're heading the IT department, you have a team. So if there's something that is not working, what happens? They pick up your phone or they book a ticket, they log a ticket, and they call you and they tell you the problem statement. And then you assign someone to work on that problem statement. What if I tell you today that let's have a virtual agent, let's have an infrastructure that is smart enough to identify where is the problem, what is the root cause, and before even the user experience, you get to know what's going to happen in your network. Isn't that amazing? Hands on heart. If you could have something like that, don't you think that it would be amazing? I mean, I remember Sir just said today that there are a lot of SMEs and startups that are working on robotics, right? A lot of companies that are working to help save our ecological system, right? The marine system and so on, right? To protect the human being coming in direct contact, right? So these are basically information that gets generated on a real time, and you need to act on it straight away. So what happens, because today what's happening, you have a problem in your network, in your system, in your IT, your user faces your user experiences the problem, and what they do is they get in touch with you, and then you spend 75 to 80% of your time finding out the problem. So that's where, ladies and gentlemen, you are spending your resource, right? So again, imagine a situation wherein if artificial intelligence could help you. Today, anything that we talk about, artificial intelligence somewhere or the other is connected to our daily life. I mean, I'll give you a very basic example. For example, you open Amazon, right? You open Flipkart. For example, you want to buy something very specific, and you get into that, they start showing you a product from that particular thing that you're looking for, right? Now, when you come back to the home page, the next time, it will still show you the products that you were looking for, right? And your interest. This is, again, nothing but an outcome of AI. I mean, I'm not saying that it's absolute AI, but it's an outcome. It's all algorithm-based, right? So imagine a network that has a sixth sense that can tell you where your problem is and a remedy for it. So this is where we connect, we protect, we analyze and act through a window, through a platform that we call it as Aruba Central. This we offer to our SMEs, to corporates in a form of a service as well, because it's not necessary that your resources are always planned. Now, when I say resources, it could be a human resource, it could be your budget as well, right? To ensure that it's cost effective and it's ready for you, we offer it in a form of a service. So if you look at the entire window, that is connect, protect, analyze, and act, is what we call it as Edge Service Platform. I'm not getting into a presentation. I'm just talking into a very simple language so that you can understand it easily, right? So this is what we call it as ESP, that is Edge Service Platform. Now, how does HPE as an organization fit in it, right? HP as an organization, one side we have the edge, because today everything is happening, ladies and gentlemen, everything is happening in the edge. So one side, HP has the edge story. What's the other side that we have? The other side we are talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, if you look here, cloud. It's a big thing. However, your cloud is not necessarily always your data center or center of data, right? It's basically what we call it as hybrid IT, right? So on one side, you have the edge. Another side, you have the hybrid IT, that is your cloud, your data center, or centers of data. So this is where HP comes in the picture with both hands together, right? We connect edge, we connect your cloud or the data center or centers of data through something which we call it as Edge Connect. With our recent acquisition of an organization called Silver Peak, we help you to connect your edge in a smarter way with your cloud, with your data center, with your centers of data. Edge connects, right? So this was my story for all of you. I mean, I understand time is a constraint. 15 minutes is not long enough. If you need any assistance, we'll be more than happy to assist you, to let you know more about our story. But before that, before I say thank you so much, I would just like to play a small video, if that's okay with all my seniors, right? Thank you. Can you help me? While the video is getting turned on, any questions for me? I understand 15 minutes is not long enough to explain you, but it's just to give you a gist of you need to protect, connect, manage your data. So that's where Hewlett Packard as an organization can help you connect your edge with your cloud or with your data center or centers of data, right? So we offer plethora of products and services. So for anything, we'll be more than happy to assist you. But on the story of ESP, that's Edge Service Platform, I would like to play a small video, right? So that it gives, it leaves behind a small footprint in your
cloud.
mind. Sorry. Are we ready for 2 minutes? Thank you so much. Yes.
Now it's massive amounts of data at the edge. But what is the edge? It's where people, technology, and data come together to do amazing things. Robots in factories, augmented reality and diagnostics in healthcare, or personalized experiences in a sports stadium or office. That's the edge. This is the disruption your network needs to be ready for. But the edge brings a whole new set of challenges to your network. IT is hampered by siloed management across wired, wireless, and WAN. IoT and mobile devices continue to erode the security perimeter. And visibility fades as infrastructure moves beyond IT's direct control. Traditional networking must change. You need a network that can see what people can't see, a network that can fix problems before they happen. That's where Aruba Edge Services Platform comes in. The industry's first platform with an AI-powered sixth sense, designed to automate and protect the edge. Aruba ESP uses AI ops to reveal and resolve issues before they impact users or the business. Unified infrastructure to bring management and troubleshooting onto a single platform. And zero trust security to modernize protection methods and address the complexity and new attack vectors of IoT. And it's all accessed and managed through a single pane of glass, Aruba Central. You get actionable AI insights, a unified infrastructure, and security for wired, wireless, and SD-WAN operations across the campus, branch, and data center. It's time for a new way to think about your network. It's time for your network to do some thinking. It's time for Aruba ESP.
Well, that's it. A sixth sense. So all I would request you to remember is let's have a network with a sixth sense. And Aruba at Hewlett Packard Enterprise can really help you to have a network with a sixth sense. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good evening. Thank you.